Hello! So, I finally had time to sit down and have a look through the new Contraptions DLC. I've been busy with work for the last couple of days, so I'm a bit late to the party, but I thought I would do a video anyway. I'm going to have a look through the new items and tell you my thoughts. I've built a couple of little things just while I was figuring out how stuff works. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to try and keep it as brief as possible, but there was a lot of stuff added. So let's get started. Now, the first new thing is in the Structures tab. We've got a new tab called Warehouse. Now, as many people have already pointed out, it is essentially just a reskinned Barnes tab, but that's fine. A lot of people are going to prefer the kind of corrugated iron look. So we've got a prefab one there, a couple of pre-made corners and walls, roofs, and we've got the glass now as well, these greenhouse ones, so you can build proper greenhouses without having to install any mods. That's going to be great for a lot of people. Floors, again, pretty much the same as the barn tab, just with a retexture. And the walls, got a few different options in various states of disrepair. Lots of glass. Now, as far as I'm aware, they haven't updated the vendors to sell larger shipments of glass or to have more vendors selling them. So glass is going to become quite an important commodity. So you're going to want to start collecting glass if you want to build a greenhouse. And the roofs, again, very similar to the Barnes tab. It is basically a retexture. And then the glass stuff, that's pretty cool. Out of the way, Codsworth. Stairs, again, pretty much the same as the barn stairs, just a slightly different colour, I think. A bit darker, maybe. So we've got the long ones and the wider, shorter ones. Doors. Some nice glass ones. Those are, I don't even know what the difference is between that and the barn door. Maybe they look a bit whiter. But we do get this, which is pretty cool. It's a rolling metal door like you see on Red Rocket and places like that. I will show you one working in just a bit. So here we have a pretty crappy looking warehouse that I put together just quickly, and we've got one of these rolling doors on, so I've got it powered up and connected to a switch. If we activate that, hey, that's pretty cool. And I sunk a roof into the ground with one of the pillars to make a little ramp into it. I will show you inside in a little bit. So, to finish off the warehouse tab, we've got the miscellaneous section. In here we've got a couple of these metal pillars. These are going to be very useful. I can see myself using them a lot. There's a small one and a taller one. They do sink into the ground, and you can use them to do the trick where you can group select and sink other objects into the ground with them. It's very handy. And we've got one of these little roof deals like we have in the Barnes tab. Again, just a retexture, but it is pretty cool. I like those. So now on to the next new tab, which is scaffolding. Again, these are going to be very handy. So we've got a couple of prefab ones. It's quite a tall one there. One thing that is a bit unfortunate, which you'll see in a minute, at the top there where there's the half floor, you've got these diagonal supports. So this is a prefab, but you can't get that if you're just building one from scratch. There aren't any diagonal supports like that. You would have to build a support that goes all the way down to the ground. So that's a bit of a shame, but I'm sure I can live with that. And then there's a smaller one. Now the scaffolding floors. A few different options here. These are all going to be quite handy, I'm sure. Now you'll see they don't snap exactly together. That's just to allow for the metal bars of the support frames. So when it's all put together, it looks pretty good. So, oh my god, it's snapping all over the place. So yeah, there's a few options there. Pretty good. Apologies as well if you can hear clonking around. The house is noisy today. Always happens when I'm trying to record, and it drives me insane. But this is the only time I can do it, so apologies for that. Now the frames. So we've got a variety of different frames as well, of different shapes and sizes and heights. So we've got these shorter ones and some taller ones. They do snap on top of each other, which is pretty handy. If you are building a big structure, sometimes getting things to snap where you want them is a bit of a pain in the bumhole. So you have to have some patience for that. And stairs, we have ramps. Look, ramps. So that's pretty cool. We've got a few different options with the ramps. Some with railings on the side. As you can see, you can sink them into the ground. So that's very handy. So lots of floors and ramps to make walkways with. We've got more options for stairs. More stairs are always good. So yeah, a lot of stuff you can do there. And we've got these new railings. So these snap and they're pretty cool as well. Okay, so we've got another new tab in the structures menu, which is boxcars. This is pretty cool as well. So we've got these railway cars that you can use. We've got some that just go on the ground. And whoops, there's a few different options. So you've got these ones that you can put doors on without ends or with ends. And you have these ones on stilts, which is pretty cool. Put them in water or something. And they snap together, so you can make a little structure with them, like a little walkway or kind of maze type thing. So we've got blue and the same ones again in orange. These are just the doors if you want to use those. So yeah, a lot of potential there as well, I think. Alright, so the next new thing we've got in the structures tab is elevators. Look at that, pretty sweet. Now there are a couple of options. So 2 stories, it includes the first floor, 3 and 4. So you can make some pretty epic structures and not have to take the stairs to get to the top. I have put one on my crappy little warehouse over here. Let's just show you that. It's only 2 stories. So if it's at the top, you can press that button to call it down. You can go inside. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I forgot to put railings on here. It's dangerous. I'm not going to go inside just yet. I'll show you what I've put in there in just a bit. Okay, so the next thing we've got are the ball tracks. Now I'm sure many of you have seen these. They were featured quite heavily in the trailer. So there are a few different options. We've got the straight ones, varying lengths and inclines. You've got these supported ones. Bit of a shallower incline there. And then we've got curved ones. A few different options for that. And they all snap together. And then in the miscellaneous bit we've got a few other things. So we've got a couple of different funnels. And those are the steel balls that you roll down. Got some other ones like this. So it's like a manual switch that releases the ball. Got powered ones. More support, so if you've got some up quite high, they're not going to be floating in the air. Switcher. A couple of other switches. So I have had a little bit of a play around with those. Realistically, I'm not sure how much I would actually use them, but yeah, it's alright just to dick about with, I guess. So I did make a basic track, which I will show you towards the end of the video. Okay, next up we've got some stuff in the decorations tab. So, first of all, we've got armor mannequins. Male one and a female one. I was kind of hoping we'd get the creepy mannequins that you see all over the place, but these are pretty cool, I guess. I'm not really sure how much I'll use them, but the odd one here and there could be alright. And then we've got some display cases of various shapes and sizes, and you have to activate them to open them, so you're not going to get settlers messing about with them, hopefully. They probably will. So yeah, they open up, you can plonk stuff inside them. I don't think they're... Yeah, they're not scripted, so you can't use them as a container to display stuff. You have to just physically plop it on there. So if you don't have a mod that allows you to place static weapons and stuff, then it might be a bit of a pain in the bum. Next we've got power armor displays. So I've done this at night because they do light up. So you can see I've got my armor in there now, the leg's busted at the moment. Yeah, they don't... Maybe it's different with depending on what type of power armor you put in there, but it doesn't light the helmet up too well, or the legs. It's just kind of these spots in the middle, and that one at the top's not doing a huge amount. Well, it's lighting up the back, but yeah, they're okay. If you have a mod that allows you to craft the other power armor stations, the kind of more streamlined ones, I tend to use that instead, and then put the little spotlights you can get to light them up. But if you don't have that, this is a good alternative. I think they come in a few different colours. You can't really see. It's like the grey one, blue, red, and is that yellow? Yeah, that's quite cool. Next we have weapon racks. So first of all we've got the heavy weapon stand. That's for miniguns, fatmans, and whatnot. I'll just come out, and I think I have a minigun on me. Oh, no. Fatman. That'll do. Ooh. And it expands accordingly. So, yeah. Those look pretty good, I reckon. And then, let's get back into workshop mode. Then we've got the wall weapon racks. So, got some small ones, longer ones for rifles, and then these kind. Now the problem with these is that you can only store one weapon on them at a time. So yeah, I think personally I will probably stick to using the small ones, and if I want to have a large display rack for weapons, I'm going to use the functional displays mod still, I think, just because you can fill them up and it looks good. But if you want to just have one weapon on display, you know, something special, then that's the way to go. Ooh, and also these weapon racks can also double up to help you make a weights bench. So I'm going to be using that, thinking of building a training area in the castle, and yeah, I'm going to put a few of these around because I think that's quite a cool idea. Right, so as you can see, the next thing on our list is the posters. Now I'm sure everyone's pretty pleased with these. I haven't even put all of them up. So they're in decorations, wall decorations, posters, and there is just so much stuff here. It's pretty cool. I'm just going to scroll through some really quickly. So yeah, as you can see, there is tons of stuff. So we have two varieties. We've got these big boxy kind of movie poster type things, so they're kind of posters mounted on a light box. They need a direct power connection. And then we've got these. They look pretty classy. They've just got a little downlighter above them, and you just need to have a conduit nearby for them. For them you don't need a direct power connection. But yeah, look at that, so many things. Oh yeah, under miscellaneous wall decorations, we've got this Nuka-Cola clock. That's pretty cool. I think it stopped, I think that's meant to be when the bombs went off at the time, maybe. Okay, let's have a look at what's new in the power tab. So there's nothing in generators, but if we go into connectors and switches, you can see we've got these two items: fire and target pulse, fire and target toggle. So the pulse one, you hit it, it emits power briefly. Toggle, you hit it, it emits power. Hit it again, it stops. I have used both of these, so you will get to see them in action in a little bit. Next in the power tab, we've got a new section for conduits. Now these are kind of metal pipes that you can use instead of having wires drooping around everywhere. So we've got these junction ones, and these with a conduit poking up in case anything needs a direct connection. You can use those. Power radiator, those work in the same way that regular conduits do, so they emit power around them for lights and stuff like that to be powered. Haven't used one of those yet, but looks quite funky. And then pipes of various lengths, curved ones, vertical ones. These you can feed power through a wall. So if you have a look, I've got one over here. I'll show you the other side in a bit. So we've got the conduit poking out attached to the generator, and then the pipes go through on the other side and connect to some more wires, pipes, whatever. So yeah, we've got these and ceiling ones as well, and a switch. So yeah, if you want to have, it's good for industrial stuff, it does fit the part, or even if you just want to have some power that looks a bit, well, safer, a bit of insulation around the wires, and just a bit tidier. They are a bit of a dick to place at times, just because you've got to get them angled right, and the lengths and other stuff can get in the way of them. But yeah, if you can get them to work to fit around what you're building, they look pretty cool. Alright, still in the power tab under miscellaneous, we've got a few new bits and bobs. First up, a pitching machine. So you power this up and you put stuff in it and it spits them out. So I'll just show you that quickly. So there we go, you can see it. Little tires spinning. I'm not sure how large the sort of maximum sizes for objects you can put into this. You might want to move. Nah, don't say I didn't warn you. So yeah, let's have a look what I can put in there. Ah, baseballs, perfect. And then it spits them out. So it's quite cool. I was a bit... I can't be bothered to chase those. I was a bit disappointed that they don't get spat out with more force.
Another day of hard work.
Shh!
It never changes.
I'm recording. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed that they don't get spat out with more force. But, hey ho. Right, let's get back. So, we also have the junk mortar. I power this up and it spits stuff out that you put in. As you can see in the background there, I've already got one. I'm going to show you something fun with that at the end of the video. So stick around for that. Oh yeah, also under MISC, we've got these hoop switches. I've got one in the background here. So we've got this one and one that you can attach to the wall. So basically you chuck something through the hoop and it turns the switch on and it powers the thing. I think I had a basketball actually. Conveniently. Do I? Yes, I do. So, I don't know, I guess you'd want to come up with some kind of device that would shoot this. Maybe use the junk... junk mortar to fire this at this. But if I just... Oh, that was pants. Hey, there we go. So there you go, you can see it temporarily turns on and off. A light's probably not the best thing to attach to that. Okay, now we've got logic gates. I'm going to be honest, I have not used these at all yet. It's going to take a while to figure out exactly... I mean, it explains how they work, it's pretty simple, but trying to figure out how to use them will take a bit of time. So there are a few different options. You can read up at the top what they do. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what I might use those for yet. Okay, now we've got the manufacturing tab. Again, this stuff you will have seen if you watched the trailer for the DLC. It's all the conveyor belts, different lengths, corners, rolly things and ramps and all sorts of stuff. So I have put down some conveyor belts and whatnot in the factory, just really basic ones. These lifts, they're quite cool. So yeah, I'll show you inside my crappy warehouse in a moment, just the basic conveyor belt that I put in there. And these, so you can, these are basically the machines that will determine what is manufactured in your factory. So, random shit. Armor, weapons, clothes, energy weapons, heavy weapons, ammunition, explosives, fireworks, and food. And then under this, we've got a few cool things. So hopper, so stuff gets dumped in the top and spat out through the bottom. I haven't tried any of these yet, the sorting things. Component sorter. This is just a storage thing, so the conveyor belt leads into this and it just keeps all your shit until you come and get it. Vacuum hopper. I haven't tried this yet either, but that sounds like it could be quite fun. So let's go and have a look inside here. It's not very impressive, don't get excited. Alright, so I've got a little conveyor belt, we've got a food processor here. One thing I've noticed about these conveyor belts is that I don't know if it's just a bug or what, but the animations stop on the conveyor belts. They still work, but they just don't look like they're moving, which is unfortunate. If you store them in the workshop and then put them back out again, that seems to reset them. But if you've done any trickery or glitching when it comes to placement, then that is going to fuck you over a bit. So, yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, let's put some crap in here and watch it in action. Alright, so I've stored some ingredients in the food processor. Now let's hit the switch and see what happens. You can hear everything firing up. Hoping these conveyor belts are gonna bloody work. Takes a while. Hey, there we go. See, it's going, but the conveyor belt's not animating, which is a bit poo. And it's going in here, which takes it up here. Hey. And it continues. This is completely pointless. Down here. Whoop. And it gets stored in there. Hurrah. Finally, under the power tab, we have the marquee section. Now, you've probably seen some of this stuff in the background earlier in the video. It was probably there in some shots and not there in others, but I don't give a shit about continuity in this video, so there. But yeah, there's some cool stuff in this tab. As you can see, we've got this big kind of cinema style marquee. You can put letters on it and write all kinds of nonsense. And then we've got all these arrows. So that's the marquee, and then all the lettering. Well, you know how it goes. So these look pretty good, I think. I'm probably going to use them a fair bit. Very nice. In the defense tab, we've got a couple of new things under traps. Scroll along here. Yeah, we've got these stationary guns. So one is a pipe gun, and the other is a paintball gun, which is quite fun. I have used the paintball gun on a thing, which I will show you in a few minutes. Well, hopefully only a few minutes, towards the end of the video. And finally, the last new item comes under resources, miscellaneous, and it's the item everyone was getting very excited about, the pillory. So you can stick that down there and humiliate your settlers or followers like the evil bastard you are. Excellent. Alright, so here we can see the pillory in action. I did try this on Marcy because, obviously, you know, I'm pretty sure that she's the main reason this exists at all. But she won't go in it, she's bugged or something, which is actually quite devastating. But yeah, generic settlers seem to work fine. I have, as you can see, a pitching machine here filled with moot fruit and I also have oh, there's only one moot fruit in there. More of those, and oh yes. And we've got it hooked up to a switch. Oh, if only this worked on Marcy. Someone needs to fix this. Hours of fun right there. Right, so as you can see, I've built a basic ball track there. Oh my god, I forgot to put the supports on. Outrageous. It's pretty simple. I've got a switch here and a bucket to catch them. I've got a paintball gun, one of these targets, and a firework mortar. I can't remember if I showed those, I might have missed them, but you will see it in action. So I'll just run up here and give you a look up here. Oh, stutter. I should probably put some railings here so I don't kill myself. So I've got a little generator attached to a switch and attached to these things, so when I turn the switch on, it will let the balls go and they will go down the chute. Can I get down this way without dying? Whew. So yeah, and down into the funnel and out here. Now I'm gonna set this off and show you it hopefully working, but I'm gonna do it at night because it will work better. It's gonna look nice. Okay, we're back and it's now nighttime. I put a couple of light bulbs onto the track just to make it a bit easier to see what's going on. You can put the light bulbs just on the bottom there, so that's quite handy. I still couldn't be asked to put those supports in, whatever. Give me a break. I replaced that bucket thing with a bathtub because I kept kicking it over. Alright, let's run on up to the top and try this thing out. Exciting. Oh, cut through a wire there. Okay. Here goes nothing. Ooh. Oh, one of them bounced out. No. And it sets that off, which sets that off. Woohoo! Yeah! Oh, that's pretty cool. Is that all of them? Do you know what? That was actually pretty satisfying. So that is the Contraptions DLC. Personally, I'm pretty happy with it. I have the season pass, so I got it anyway. It was a DLC I didn't necessarily think we were going to get. I initially thought it was just going to be the first 3 that we had. So this is a nice bonus. If you're into building and you've been on the fence about whether or not to get this if you don't have the season pass, I reckon give it a try. It's not that expensive, and even if you're not going to use any of the more crazy stuff, there's a lot of just really useful items amongst the scaffolding and the warehouse tab. More stairs, floors, supports, all that stuff is always really helpful if you're into building kind of practical settlements. If you're going to use the contraption stuff, the manufacturing and the ball tracks and everything, you're going to need a lot of space, I think, to do much with them. I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm really going to use them that much in my general settlement building, but I'm thinking I might do one silly settlement, maybe Spectacle Island. It's a big area, so I think that could have a lot of potential. So you may very possibly be able to catch a Let's Build video of me doing that. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry it was pretty long, but I hope it was interesting, and I will see you next time.